We going back to the Republican National Convention. We got a lot to cover. We got to go over D.L. Hughley. A man is saying that $30 an hour is the new broke. We got to get over to J.D. Vance. He had a full speech last night. Nancy Pelosi is pushing Biden to get out. She's telling him that he can't win. And so it's a lot to cover today. And so we got to get to it. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. This is Greg Abbott's speech yesterday at the Republican National Convention. Let's get into it, y'all. That's my governor, Governor Wheelchair. I like Greg Abbott, Professor X in the building.
Thank y'all very much.
I think I might go to the Democratic National Convention next month. I got to check and see what my schedule is like. What if Greg Abbott could actually walk? But then his powers, the powers that he used, takes away from his ability to be able to walk. But if he wanted to relinquish his powers, oh, I'm sorry, that's a whole X-Men movie. Let's continue.
Thank y'all very much. Thank y'all very much. Come on, let's go. As governor of the largest border state, the great state of Texas, I can tell you, America needs a president who will secure our border. America needs Donald J. Trump. The president's most sacred duty is to secure our country. Donald Trump fulfilled that duty by eliminating illegal immigration. Under President Trump, we had the lowest illegal border crossings in about 4 decades.
I will say this, and again, I got to be objective. I have to be objective. We had some of the lowest border crossings, but that was started with Obama. Smartly enough, Trump carried forth the same policies and the same perspective. The one thing that I will say, though, is Trump got way more pushback. They said that they wouldn't help him build no walls. They wasn't going to give any more money over to Homeland Security or the Border Patrol agents and stuff like that. So Trump did do a better job because he had more opposition during the time that he was actually fighting for the security of our country by making sure that we had safer borders. But he did carry forth a lot of the same principles and policies that Obama got a pass for. He got a lot more criticism as a result of it also, though.
By contrast, however, Joe Biden deserted his duty.
Absolutely, 100%.
On his first day in office, he gutted President Trump's policies. Let's
be clear. He didn't just gut President Trump's policies, he gutted. And the reason why this context matters, I'm glad that you guys are here. The reason that this context matters is because he didn't just gut President Trump's policies, he gutted Obama's policies also. He did not just gut President Trump's policies with regard to border control and patrolling and making sure that we kept our border safe. He also gutted his Trump's predecessor's policies also, just because it was popular to do to spite Trump. And what he did was he basically shot himself in the foot. I believe that Biden would have a much, much greater chance of being elected president of the United States of America. Much greater. I don't think that he would win, but I think that he would have a much greater chance had he simply prevented illegal immigration from coming into this country and made sure that they got in through the way that they are supposed to get in as far as the rule of law. If he had just secured our borders at the very least and had carried forth the same policies that Trump carried forth that came from Obama before him and implemented the laws that were already on the books, he would probably have a much greater chance. But that thing alone, in addition to all of the other stuff that was bad as far as what's going on in the economy and the fact that he seems to be showing early signs of dementia was his undoing.
And the result has been catastrophic. Under Joe Biden, illegal immigration has skyrocketed. Under his watch, around 11 million immigrants have crossed our border illegally.
That's just Texas.
That's more than the entire population of Michigan. It's twice the population of Wisconsin. Biden has welcomed into our country rapists, murderers, even terrorists. And the price that we have paid has been deadly. Among the many victims was 12-year-old Jocelyn from Houston, Texas, raped and murdered by 2 illegal immigrants.
And that can't happen because the same vigor that we have when it comes to an American being killed overseas, Trump allegedly said that if one person got killed upon their exit from Afghanistan, that he would literally blow up everybody's houses that was in leadership at that time based off of who he was having a conversation with. One American, one hair on my chinny chin chin get touched, everybody going out. And so we've largely stood on the idea that one of us getting hurt, all of us are hurt. And so we should never implement a policy where even one person is going to suffer as a result of it. But now, for whatever reason, we feel as though we need to make sacrifices. And we knew that there was going to be sacrifices as long as you allow for people to come in here unvetted. It's one thing for something to happen, but you didn't know that it was going to happen. But it's another thing for it to happen, understanding the type of people that you're letting in here that comes along with people that are pretending to be seeking asylum. That's on your watch. That then becomes your responsibility. You then have to take ownership of what happened. If that happens on your watch, but you could have prevented it and you knew that you could have prevented it, whose shoulders does that fall on? Or is it okay? Is it okay because you still have an agenda to push?
She's one of thousands whose lives have been destroyed by Joe Biden's open border policies. To make matters even worse, Biden is even fighting tooth and nail to stop Texas and other Republican states from securing our own borders.
And we covered that all year long. We've been covering that for a year and a half straight.
I deployed thousands of National Guard soldiers to build hundreds of miles of razor wire barriers. Give it up for our National Guard.
I wouldn't mind Greg Abbott being president at some point, too.
When Joe Biden ordered to cut that razor wire, I ordered the National Guard to triple the razor wire on the border.
Welcome to everybody that's just getting in here.
Took 50 acres of Texas border property to illegally process up to 5,000 illegal immigrants a day, I directed the Texas National Guard to take back our land and wire it shut. Now, there's no longer 5,000 people crossing the border like there was under Joe Biden. Now that the National Guard wired that shut, on average, there is 1 illegal immigrant crossing the border at that location a day. When Joe Biden and Kamala Harris refused to even come to Texas and to see the border crisis that they created, I took the border to them. I began busing illegal immigrants to Washington, D.C.
That was the smartest move. That was one of the best chess moves that I've ever seen a politician make. Okay, well then since you want to fight me because we are at the front lines, of what's happening as far as all of this illegal immigration into the country, and it's affecting us the most, what I'm going to do is allocate a huge portion of the budget, since Californians want to come over here and bring their dollars over here. I'm going to allocate a huge portion of the budget to sharing the pain. To sharing the pain. And then you know what Democrats did in these sanctuary cities? They said, oh, listen, we ain't tripping about that. We ain't tripping about that. We willing to rock out. We a sanctuary city. We going to welcome them off the bus. Eric Adams was clapping at the bus stop when they were busing them up to New York until they started to realize, we made a mistake. We made a mistake. Denver, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, Washington, Atlanta, Boston was hiding them inside of the airport. Then they wanted to get mad, and then Brandon Johnson started calling Greg Abbott the devil. I wish I had that clip loaded up. I haven't watched the speech yet. Brandon Johnson started calling Greg Abbott the devil because he didn't like the fact that he was sending them up there and they were sharing in the pain. Okay, well, since y'all now want me to be a border state, then everybody can be a border state. Once they over here, they coming everywhere. That was the greatest chess move that I've seen from any governor. And I actually think that Trump need to be sending Greg Abbott a thank you letter to helping him get elected because he did this. Because the people in Chicago and all of these other cities start feeling the pain.
And we continue busing migrants to sanctuary cities across the entire country. And those buses will continue to roll until we finally secure our border. Fortunately, I see hope on the horizon, because on November the 5th, Joe Biden will be fired. And Donald Trump will once again become the President of the United States of America. He will enforce the immigration laws. He will fight the Mexican drug cartels. And he will arrest the criminal illegal immigrants and put them behind bars. Or send them back. It is time to restore order at the border. It is time to rid our streets of crime and chaos. It is time to secure our nation by returning Donald Trump as President of the United States of America.
I think that Greg Abbott is by far the best governor in the country. I think that the worst governor in the country, conversely, on the other end of the spectrum, is Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is the worst, and that's why California is fumbling and floundering. And Greg Abbott is clearly head and shoulders above every other governor in the nation, including Big Gretch here in Michigan. Somebody said it in the chat. They said that she threw on some Cartier glasses and then everybody started, man, it's so dumb, so stupid. We are so easily finessed with little politics and little Cartier frames. Oh, man, she threw on some Cartis just like they do buffs in Detroit. What's that? And then everybody started endearing themselves to her. Throw on a trinket or two. Street's still effed up. Throw on a trinket or two, and we rocking. Anyway.